We're at GDC catching up on Paranormal Activity VR. It feels like kind of a scary way of doing VR to do Paranormal Activity in VR. What was the sort of, where does this come from, this project?
Sure. So about a year and a half ago, we had talked about studying VR for some time. We said, all right, now it's time to jump in, and where are we going to go? And we felt that gaming is the low-hanging fruit in VR. Gamers are going to be the tastemakers of VR and bring it to mainstream. So as we did that, we said, well, okay, we have a game, but what do we do next? Well, horror is the most visceral experience you can have. Our concern is if we're going to get into horror, how do you really rise above the top, right? If you're going to create a new title and it's a new product, people are going to be searching for things they may recognize. There's not major brands. Call of Duty isn't in there yet. So we said we need a brand. We need an IP that people will know. And
get excited about.
Absolutely. And we went to our relationships with Paramount, and we said, is Paranormal Activity available? I mean, it's the second largest grossing horror franchise in the world, and happened to be available, and we locked it in then and there. We weren't going to let it go. So we developed Paranormal Activity, and amazingly, everybody knows Paranormal Activity. We don't have to sell the game. They get the concept. We say Paranormal Activity, they're horrified just by the name. And it was sort of from there, it was easy enough to know that we're going to be scaring people. Now the hard part was making a good product.
So, where does it fit into the sort of the greater franchise of Paranormal Activity?
Well, what's exciting about this is that the Paranormal Activity movie franchise was amazing, and they announced they were doing the last movie in the series, which came out in October, and we all look at this as really a continuation of the franchise. It's really the next chapter of this franchise, and so it's just another amazing way to tell the story, a very immersive way to tell the story that we think is scarier than one could ever imagine in terms of a movie. A VR horror experience or a game is way scarier than anything, because you're inside of the environment, you're inside of the movie, you're inside of the house, and that's terrifying. We actually, on some level, think that this isn't just the scariest game that you're ever going to play. It could very well be the scariest thing you've ever done, and that's really exciting.
Well, I guess everyone's life is different. Some people may have really scary things going on, but
outside of real life situations.
Outside of real life situations, yes.
This is directly regarding to games as we're concerned.
Well, you want to know why? Because VR has such a crazy impact on you. It shakes you to your very core. You absolutely, somebody's playing a game, they absolutely believe they're inside of that environment. There's the suspension of disbelief is absolutely there, and you lose the thought that maybe you're really still in the real world. You're in that environment, and you're committed, and you're in. So it's exciting. That's how it really gets you.
I think everyone gets Paranormal Activity, but if we sort of talk about the mechanics, what is the player tasked with doing, and sort of how do you create those sort of horror moments?
Yeah, sure. So, traditionally, Paranormal Activity is a found footage scenario. You're looking at the view of a camera. In this case, this is sort of the foundation of what that is, right? You're in an environment. It's a survival horror experience. You want to get out. You're unraveling the story as you're playing. But there are cameras in the house. So essentially, if this game ended and someone found the footage that was in that house, you would have your Paranormal Activity movie, right? So you're living it. And it's a really interesting approach for us. But it is survival horror, and you will find clues. The story will unravel for you, and it's a great ride.
It's an amazingly intricate story, and that's what we're really excited about. It's not just, we're not using VR as a gimmick. This is a full AAA experience. It's 3 hours of narrative, and if you're a completionist, you could be in there for 6, 7, 8 hours.
We're actually,
even 10. We're really surprised when we see people play even our slice of the gameplay here, which we thought is like 8 to 10 minutes. We've had some gamers come in and they don't want to leave, and they're in there for 30 minutes, 40 minutes, an hour. So just for what we thought is 10 minutes. So who knows how long you can really spend in there, and it's exciting because there's so many there's so many moments, so many things you find, so many things you uncover, and that leads to something else, and all the while you're being hunted, and that's really exciting.
Terrifying.
So we see Playable with HTC Vive behind us here. What kind of platforms are you aiming for, and where are you at in development?
Sure. So we're going to be on the Vive. We're going to be in PlayStation VR and Oculus. Our game will be out this summer. So it'll be launching sort of in order. We'll most likely be launching on the Vive first, We really believe in sort of your hand controls. Although it is available for a traditional gamepad, the most immersive experience is utilizing your hands. So the Vive will be out there. Then Oculus will be putting out their touch controllers and will be available there. And then PlayStation, as we know, is available in October. And at that point, we'll be on their Move controllers.
And of course, we're really excited about each platform. Each platform has its unique, suits and functionality, and we're really excited about maximizing the functionality in our game to really take advantage of what each platform does.
Yeah, there's no favorite. It's amazing. Each one of them has something special, so you get excited about.
All right. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Pleasure.
My pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you.